Hello, party people. I am in my lovely office today. Thanks, Mom. I wanted to jump on and do a quick vlog about some of the jobs that I've had while I was working up to owning my preschool. So let's go through it. Um, in so we are currently in 2022. I got this place open in 2021. So let's say in 2019, I would say 2019, I found working online jobs. I think I was just looking and I was in part of like a mommy's group on Facebook, which I think I've mentioned this before. If you are not part of groups on Facebook, get part of groups on Facebook because you get so much really good information from those groups. So I was in a mommy's group, and another mom had mentioned, teaching online. So I got into it. I did call my dad, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I have this idea. I'm sorry, I got this loop and it's bothering me. I have this idea. I want to try to, teach English online." Um, I did my research. That's one thing that I did. I did research. I looked into all the companies, and the first company that I applied for was um, VIP Kid. VIP Kid. Now, this, I was surprised because they were on Forbes top 500 or something like that. So I was looking at the reviews and I was like, oh, okay, this is good. So I went on YouTube Academy, and I reviewed some of the content from people who were working for them. There were a lot of mixed reviews, I'll be honest with you. Some people were like, yeah, it's great. Other people were like, oh my God, it's horrible. So I'm gonna give you my experience. So my experience for working for VIP Kid um, was not the greatest. And the reason it wasn't the greatest is because I didn't get any students. I started working for them. I held a contract with them for almost 2 years. And for an entire year, I taught no one. An entire year, I taught no one. Not one class, nothing. I kept the schedule open, it was available, but I got no students. In the first year that I started working for them, I only made students December, January, February, March. By April, I had nothing. Now, remember, the pandemic started, and us people who were teaching online really saw that pandemic because the students were in Japan, Thailand, Dubai, all over the country. But before the US really got hit hard, other places were getting hit hard. Places like Beijing and China and Korea, I think, were also being hit. So I started to feel it in my paycheck because a lot of the students were canceling classes on me, not showing up to classes. And a lot of the companies were like, hey, due to the pandemic, due to stuff in China, the next few classes are going to be canceled. So that's what was happening. Because I was lacking classes with VIP Kid, I did apply to some other companies. One of the other companies that I applied to was English First. English First. I was employed with English First for almost 2 years. Um, and I did really good. Like, I won't even lie. English First paid me a decent amount of money every month because you only get paid once a month from these companies. And it's usually at the beginning of the month, like the 5th or the 15th or something. But I got paid once a month. And I usually had like um, $12 to $1,500 every month, which is not bad for me working from home and still having a regular job. But I was getting regular classes. Now, just so you know, with these companies, your classes are typically between 20 to 30 minutes. They give you all the material that you need, so you don't have to do anything but, kind of review the material and make sure that you understand it and that you're able to teach it. You also want to make sure that you're using the correct English because you don't want to teach people improper English when you're supposed to be teaching them English. So that's another thing. Um, then when the pandemic hit really, really hard, and I was not going into my job anymore, I then picked up more places. So I started applying to other companies. So they have companies like say ABC. They have Butterfly. They have Zebra English. They have Go Kid. They have, when I tell you the list is long, the list is long. Thousands of companies that you can work from home and teach children English. The third company I work for is called Cambly, Cambly. Now, Cambly has its pros and cons. Cambly pays the least amount of money. I was making with my companies roughly about $18 to $22 an hour with the other two companies, depending on what I did on my shift. Bonuses, you get a lot of bonuses with these companies. But Cambly did not offer any bonuses. They paid about $10 an hour, which isn't much, but it's it was supplemental. So I would work for the other companies and then I would use that to supplement my paycheck. Plus, Cambly plays weekly. So I would get that $100, $200, and that would be gas or for grocery shopping or a bill. I even used it to pay for my notary when I did it. So I did it. I worked all the hours, got the money, paid for the notary license. So Cambly was good. But here's the problem with Cambly. So Cambly is a system where the calls come in. So you go live, you log in, you go live, the calls come into you. You kind of just sit on your computer and the calls just kind of roll into you. One or two things happen. You're going to get either one, someone who's really interested in English and they log in and like, great, let's have this conversation. Two, you're going to see a penis. Yeah, that happens. You get people that's very disrespectful from other countries. I've been cursed out. I've been called all kinds of names. Not so much racial, but just being a woman in America with freedom. A lot of the guys from other countries were very disrespectful about it. They would often ask me, like, what does my husband think about me being on the computer? Or they would comment on my shirt or ask to see my boobs or any of that stuff. So yeah, you definitely get that. Cambly is nice, but tricky. What I would recommend for Cambly is get a camera cover. Close your camera until the person picks up. See if they're serious, and once you realize they're serious, open your camera. Cambly also offers Cambly Kids, which does pay $12 an hour. You also get paid if the student cancels on you. With the regular Cambly adults, you don't get paid even if if the kids don't show up. I mean, if the student doesn't show up. But what I like about Cambly is it's not saturated to like one country. It's everywhere. I literally met people from everywhere. My students from Brazil, mwah, 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 I love them. They're so amazing. I still talk to some of my students now. I have them on WhatsApp and we talk and we chat, and it's just such a great experience. They tell me about their country. I've told them about mine. I loved being able to meet so many people from around the world by just sitting in my kitchen. So, if you are interested in earning some money and you're open to teaching somebody else from another country the language that you already speak, sign up for some of these companies. It's definitely worth it. You'll enjoy the company that you'll get from the other people. Plus, it's great insight. Plus, if you travel, you have somewhere to go. All right. Later.